Imagine boarding a ship at the age of 22. No fame. No fortune. Just curiosity and the courage to ask questions no one else dared. In 1831, a young naturalist named Charles Darwin set sail aboard a ship called the Beagle. He had no idea that this 5-year journey would change not only his life, but the story of life itself. This is the tale of how one man's curiosity rewrote the rules of existence, and how his ideas still shape how we see ourselves today. Charles Darwin wasn't born a genius, he was born curious. As a boy in Shrewsbury, England, he collected shells, insects, and rocks instead of paying attention in school. While others memorized lessons, he studied the tiny worlds beneath his feet. His father thought he was wasting his time. Nothing but shooting dogs and catching rats, he scolded. But curiosity has a strange way of finding purpose. Darwin's fascination with nature led him to study theology at Cambridge, not because he wanted to be a priest, but because it was one of the few ways to keep studying the natural world. And then, one letter changed everything. Darwin received an invitation to join the HMS Beagle as a naturalist on a voyage around the world. It was meant to chart coastlines, but for Darwin, it became a journey through creation itself. As the Beagle sailed across oceans, Darwin filled his notebooks with thousands of observations. Fossils, plants, birds, and animals no European had ever seen. Then came the moment that changed everything. The Galápagos Islands, a cluster of volcanic lands filled with creatures that looked strangely familiar, yet different. Finches with different beaks. Tortoises with different shells. Iguanas that could swim. Each island seemed to tell a story of life, adapting as if nature itself was experimenting. Darwin began to wonder. What if species weren't fixed? What if they changed over time? Back in England, Darwin spent decades analyzing his notes. He bred pigeons, studied barnacles, and filled notebooks with questions. How could small changes in nature lead to the incredible diversity of life? He found the answer in something beautifully simple and endlessly powerful: natural selection. In nature, every creature struggles to survive. Those with traits that give them an advantage, sharper claws, faster legs, better camouflage, are more likely to survive and pass those traits on. Over countless generations, those tiny advantages become evolution. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. It wasn't just science, it was a new way of seeing life itself. When Darwin finally published On the Origin of Species in 1859, the world shook. His ideas challenged everything people believed about creation and humanity's place in nature. He wasn't attacking faith, he was revealing how life could work through natural laws. But controversy was inevitable. Church leaders condemned him. Friends distanced themselves. He received hate, ridicule, and even threats. Yet the more science advanced, the more his ideas proved true. From DNA to fossils, every discovery whispered the same truth. Darwin had seen what others had missed: the deep connection between all living things. Darwin never saw himself as a hero. He saw himself as a student of nature, of truth, of life. He once said, "A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life." His voyage on the Beagle was more than a trip, it was a mirror held up to the universe. It showed that everything from the tiniest cell to the mightiest creature is part of one endless, evolving story. So next time you look at a bird in flight, a tree in bloom, or even your own reflection, remember, you are connected to every living thing that has ever existed. Because Charles Darwin dared to ask, what if life changes?